Okay, y'all, what's the word? It's your boy Who's 74, back with another banger. I'm in the house alone today, so I could be a little bit louder. Don't gotta worry about my son's sleep. He's normally sleep during the hours that I do these reviews because the way my schedule is set up, I don't have the time to do them during the day. So I gotta wait till like the evening or night in which he's sleep, or I have to get up early morning in which he's still kind of sleep. So the only time I get to really do reviews early are on for the most part a Saturday, I mean a Sunday like today. So and I don't like to wait till Sunday all the time because I be thirsty when the chapter come out, when the One Piece chapter come out, god damn it, Thursday night, Friday. I be wanting to do it then. I don't want to have to wait and then have to try to avoid everybody else shit on YouTube all the way until Friday, Sunday. You feel me? But yeah, we back with another banger. One Piece 1152. I mean 1155 review. Shit spicing up, fo. Shit really spicing up, shorty. We last chapter we was getting deep into the Loki flashback, which gave us the Rock Zebek reveal. It's crazy how a no, it's not even a Loki flashback. It's a Herald flashback. It's crazy how a Herald flashback is now turning into a Rocks flashback. Let's just treat it as both the Rocks and Harold flashback. So we get in the flashback of Rocks and Harold. We found out Rocks is that dude. We found out he is that dude. You feel me? His character design, I love it. You feel me? He's one of the most drippiest characters in One Piece to me. I love his attitude so far, his aura. Like, come on now, let me find out Rock's about to be one of my favorite, my number two favorite character, cause ain't nobody gonna never beat Sanji. You know what? He might just be number three because ain't nobody gonna never beat Law neither. I'm sorry. Sanji, my number one favorite character in One Piece. Law is my favorite number two character in One Piece. Um, Shanks has been number three, but it might just be Rocks, and then we gonna bump Shanks to four. But yeah, man, it's spicing up. I did see some of the spoilers. So I hear about that in this chapter we gonna see Rocks fucking destroy a gate of justice, which is fucking sick because those gates are huge, bro. We all know how huge and how gigantic them gates is. Those are the gates of Enli's lobby. Those gates were huge, bro. And huge and thick as hell. He destroyed that. Okay. Um, what else he do? We're gonna also see in this chapter that he makes it to the flower room. We're gonna see how he make it to the flower room with Emu and get Emu that little subtle threat before he dip up out of there on the I'm finna come back for your ass act, you feel me? Everything that's going on so far with Rocks is strengthening my ideal that my theory that I've been theorizing for the longest. Blackbeard teach he will be the one that kills Emu. You feel me? He's gonna be the biggest threat to Emu, not Nika. Blackbeard is. And I've always said that because of whatever I felt like Blackbeard's connection to Rocks was. I felt like he inherited the will of Rocks, but now that it's been 100% confirmed, and I always knew that that's his father. I'm even speculating one step further. Rocksteady Zebek's plan was so big and so intense. I feel like part of his conscience is in Blackbeard. That's how I feel. Or he is Blackbeard himself. But right now, I feel like Rocksteady Zebek, his conscience is inside Blackbeard. Some way, somehow. Which is why Blackbeard is able to have two devil fruits, which is why Blackbeard never sleeps because we never get that. So far, it hasn't said that about Rocks. Maybe we don't see in this chapter if he sleep or not, but so far that nigga sleeps. You feel me? Until they say he doesn't sleep, by default he sleeps. Okay, but let's get into it. We got some crazy shit to get into. One moment. Hate the fact that I be in the house chilling all fucking day. I was just chilling. It's 12:17 right now, p.m. I've been up since 7 with my son before him and his mama left to go to church. I've been talking this whole fucking time, and it's always when I get on stream and do this that the damn saliva and the mucus in my mouth get thick, goddamn it, and I gotta swallow and all that shit. Sound like I'm congested when I fucking talk. I don't know why. This shit pisses me off. All this hard ass swallowing I'm doing. That shit never fucking happens until I get in here in this seat with this studio up doing a review. All right, so you guys already know how it go. We about to get into this review. Go ahead and kick back, relax, flame up, and review with me. If you don't have a blunt to smoke on your own, feel free to hit mines as I put mines to the screen. This is a session, baby. We finna enjoy this. Amazing chapter. I'm speculating here. I'm presuming this to be an amazing chapter. All right, so let's flame up. And as we flame it up, we starting off where we left off at with Rocks, um, Whitebeard, Shiki, and the little thug guy. They are all in Elbaf's underworld, and they just discovered Loki, who has just jumped to the underworld from the Heavenland in an attempt to commit suicide, and it did not work because he on that Kaido time. Like that's fucking crazy that Loki is bigger. It seems like as a child right now, Loki seems to me to be the same size Hyrugen is as an adult. But I know that can't be true because we just seen him and Hyrugen next to each other in the last chapter, and Loki was really only like maybe 2 feet bigger than him when he bitch smacked his ass with that combo. He popped the shit out Hyrugen ass with that combo. All right, so we pick up where we left off. Hit that real quick. Loki is saying this is Elbaf, but Pops ain't here. He's on a voyage. You're all puny humans. This is the first I ever seen one moving around for real. He says, how cute. Hang on, did you just say Pops, your Harold's kid? Oh, that's the thug. Yeah, now that's Shiki saying, ah, how cute. Hang on, did you just say Pops, your Harold's kid? No, that's the bet. And he says, I'm guessing he can still be reached even if he's away, right? What's your name? That's what Rocks tell Loki. Loki says, I'm Loki. Rocks then says, all right, Loki, just do what I tell you. Head home and get someone to send urgent word to your pops. Tell him to say Loki has been seriously hurt. You've got to return to Elbaf at once. Loki then gets mad as he screams, watch your mouth. Do I look like I take orders from humans? You seriously expect my father to drop everything just 'cause I'm hurt? He says, yeah, right. Besides, someone as weak looking as you has no right to boss me around. Then we get some dialogue text that says Rock's swordsmanship was renowned for its brutal impact akin to a giant hammer or cannon fire. It was said to blow everything in the surrounding vicinity away. And Rock swings that sword at Loki and fucks him up. It's like when Rock swing his sword. What I'm guessing is like when Rock swing his sword, it causes like a gravity effect before a cannonball effect where, in Dragon Ball Z when they power up, how the aura and the rocks fly up and stuff in the air. I'm assuming with rocks that happens that like when he cocks his sword maybe or when he swings it with the hockey. Because as he's cocking it, you see the black lightning coming from it. And I'm assuming when he swings it, it then goes into a stage where it's like, and then the rocks come up in the air, and then the next impact comes and boom, launches everything forward like a fucking giant cannonball. You feel me, young bro? I can only see it being like that in animation style. And Rock says, there we have it. Loki has been seriously hurt. And then we get some more text. It says Harold's path crossed with this madman once before. It happened during the reverie that year. So then we get into the reverie. We are here at the Holy Land, Marie-Joie. We hear somebody saying, someone attacked and kidnapped 5 of the kings. Unbelievable. That big man, that big man in black has to be the culprit. Then we cut over to the flower room where we see Emu. He's saying the lives of those sovereign cannot be used to extort Mu, as Mu is playing with his little butterflies. As we then get to the next panel, we see a Mu playing with his flowers while a Gunko with a robe on is knelt before Mu. And we got Rocks in the background sitting with his gun on his knee, and he's saying, no kidding. But it threw the Holy Land into total chaos, didn't it? And then the dialogue text says, this incident will be the first and last of its kind. And the intruder made it all the way to the flower room, hidden deep within the Holy Land. How did Rocks know Emu was going to be there, though? Like, he got some type of prior knowledge outside of coming to this land, and I need to know where he got it from. Because he knew Emu was going to be there. Because he went there, he killed the motherfucking general. I don't know if he did that yet, but he went there and kidnapped those 5 kings, literally just to cause a big enough distraction to be here. It says the man claimed to be a Davy Jones pirate. He knew there was nothing more he could do in that moment, so he withdrew with these words. He says, just wait one day. I'll be back. And he looks Emu in the eye with this sinister look. So I don't know if Rocks got here by accident and then realized there was nothing he could do once he found out what was going on, or if he knew Emu was here the whole time and just came to drop this threat. Because you had to have known that if you knew Emu was here the whole time, you had to have also known there was nothing you could have done. Hit blunt. He had to have known there was nothing he could have done if, you feel me, he knew Emu was there. So he drops that threat. He says, I'll be back, and then let's see what the dialogue text says now. It says, naturally, this incident would never be brought to light. Ironically, on that very day, there was another intruder in the Holy Land. So it was 2 intruders that day. Somebody says, look, we got the celestial dragons with they bitch made ass and they look astronaut outfits. Look, it's so much bigger than a normal giant. I want it as a slave. No, we should kill it and have it stuffed. Guards, protect the nobles. Okay, so Harold is apparently the other Intruder. He's running, he's on fire, going hot, hot, hot. I'm sorry, the negotiations went south, and I know trespass is a crime, but isn't it he said, but isn't all this going a bit too far? Don't let the kidnappers get away, that the guards are screaming as they're chasing them. Harold's running. He says, that wasn't me, I swear. So the big man in black seems to be. I thought the big man in black was Rocks, but no, everybody is saying the big man in black. That's Harold. Everybody thinks Harold's the one. Harold is the one that causing all the commotion and kidnapping everybody. Whole time Rocks don't snuck in like a devil in the night, so he's sneaking around. I don't think they know Rocks is there. So on his way out, it seems like Rocks runs into Loki. We get some more of the guards running. They screaming, saying an admiral was murdered. The culprit ran towards the castle. Proceed with caution. And then we see the celestial bitch made dragons saying it's just one thing after another. Seize that biggin. So they just get worried about an admiral being killed as they're chasing Harold. So now they are aware that it's another person there somewhere, because it couldn't have been Harold while they chased. Harold then says that must be the guy who kidnapped the kings. How dare he use me as a scapegoat? I'll show him. And then we see Rocks looking back at Harold saying, a giant in the Holy Land, don't your kind lurk in the boonies? So Harold swings his sword at Rocks, and Rocks jumps up and parries with his sword, and it's a clash that causes a giant conqueror's hockey leak. And I'm noticing once we get to a different panel that they're not even touching. We're gonna switch and let y'all see this. All right, so this is the clash between Harold and Rocks. So here it looks like they're connecting, as Rock says, ha ha ha, state your name. And then Harold responds, ha ha ha, it's Harold. And then Rock says, I'm Rocks. Angle your next strike towards the town. They'll enslave you if you get caught. And then Harold says, huh? Why? And then they then stare at each other in the eye. We get some dialogue that says the clash between the two strangers blew away everyone within a 5 kilometer radius. Huh. It's pretty big. So after Rox told Harold to angle his strike towards the town, and he told him they'll make you a slave if you get captured. So he got his best interests in mind at the end of the day. Harold's like, why? And Rox tell him, don't ask questions. Rox, Harold then asks Rox, how do I get to Elbath? The new world is that way, Rox says as he points while standing on Harold's shoulder. He says, if you survive this, let's meet again, Harold. Harold then runs and says, don't be ridiculous, as if I ever associate with a criminal like you. And then Rock says, what, are you seriously gonna jump off the edge? And then we see some more dialogue bubble. Rox and Harold take it down, and Rox had taken down the Navy Admiral just moments earlier. So we see Harold literally jumping off the fucking red line. Some more dialogue bubble. It says, despite the efforts to save him, the Admiral did not survive. It was deemed the most grievous of sins. In a blink of an eye, Rock's infamy boomed. The event sent a powerful shock throughout the sea. And we get a wanted poster for Rocks, but they cut out the motherfucking bounty, so we don't know how big his very first bounty was. Sometime later, a ship carrying a great amount of celestial tribute to Merijuas was attacked. The gates of justice were destroyed and the attackers fled the scene. The stolen funds were later used to support Rock's pirates' activities. Yeah, Rocks is a goat, man. Like he doing all this on his first time making himself known to the Navy, to the Marines, I mean. It says until that point, Rocks had always acted against the world government. But after that, he started to target pirates too. In other words, it said in the world of pirates, there existed a long-standing tradition known as Davy back fights. Pirate crews would compete in a series of matches, wagering their flag or even their crewmates, and wagering their flag or even their crewmates in a truly ruthless game. Rocks used this tradition to build his entire crew. They had won many scoundrels to their side before they even had a flag. They made their way to Elbath. So we see Rocks on the boat. He got his crew now. He got looks like Whitebeard. He got Shiki. He got Stussy. He says, they've got an amazing guy. You'll lose it when you see him. So I'm guessing this is Rocks telling everybody about Harold while they're on their way to Elbath. And they see the island. He say, that's it. A dialogue bubble says Elbath, Quest Castle. We see some dialogue that says, oh, I rushed home as fast as I could, but I'm glad you already turned the corner on your recovery. Thank goodness. So it sounds like from that, Harold came back. Harold definitely came back to see what was wrong with Loki. He says, I know you're strong, Loki. And then we do see Harold standing over a Loki that's bedridden. He on bed rest. He says, I know you're strong, Loki, but you shouldn't wander into the realm of the dead. You got lucky escaping with nothing more than that after falling off the cliff. There's plenty more dangers just lurking deeper inside. And Loki is in his head like Dad really came back. It has to be a coincidence. He couldn't have come for me. So Loki in disbelief that you feel me, he don't think his dad love him for, cause he don't know love. I wouldn't think my father loves me neither if he allowed me to grow up the way I grew up. Like, you don't know what was going on with your son at all, and how he was getting mistreated by his mama until she died, and then her brother, his uncle. After that, you don't know about none of the abuse, none of that. You don't know what's wrong with his eyes because you never bothered to look or find out more information after you just told he had an illness, bro. Like you don't know anything, you don't care to know anything. So I get why Loki is in disbelief that you even give a fuck or that you came back for him, because everything with you is all oh diplomacy, 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 better relations, better relations, better relations. Oh, the world, the world, the world. You feel me, on bro? Shorty his ass tweaking. So now we see Harold at a giant dinner table with Rocks and his crew. Harold says, Rocks, I heard all about your crimes. What are you doing here? Rock says, I missed you, Harold. I don't know, bro. Rocks kind of seemed to have that. He got that Luffy energy. Now, I wouldn't say Luffy energy, because Luffy a dumbass, but Rocks got that. I mean, yeah, I give it Blackbeard energy, for he got that Teach energy, bro. He a troll. He a troll. Rocks, you could tell he's a troll. He's an energetic ass troll. And then Rocks then says, you gotta join my crew. The world government won't hear you out, right? You get it now. The time has come. And then we see Harold say, don't be stupid. If I anchor myself with a thug like you, I lose all the goodwill I've built up with my allies. There's a lot of people over here on the crew. I don't know who they is. I'm assuming this guy with the flower on his pants is Wang Ji. Or is Wang G the guy on the other side of Blackbeard? I mean Whitebeard. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. Maybe they'll give us dialogue bubbles where we find out who these people are. Until then, let's keep reading. Hit blunt again. All right. So somebody says this is a real feast. I don't get no fuck what they talking about in the back. So we see Rox then tell Harold in response to Harold saying he ain't gonna fuck with Rox. Rox says, "What of it? Aren't those allies government pawns? What's the point of reaching for something that's impossible? He says, you gotta level the playing field. Don't be a wet blanket, Harold. Elbath was the greatest warrior. Elbath has the greatest warriors in the world. If something if something churns your stomach, you shouldn't just crush it. You should just crush it. I mean, that's what he said." All right, so getting into the next panel, Harold then angrily says, "That's the old ways. Elbath has changed." Rock says, "People never change. The same bloodlust is still pulsing through you." And then he says, "We get Whitebeard then in the back saying, 'Hey, can't you two just enjoy the meal?'" Harold says, "You guys should know if you follow a man like him, you'll only be led to ruin." Cheeky then laughs, says, "Following that moron, don't make me laugh. We're all completely out for ourselves. None of us would bat an eye if Rock's dad." And then Stussy says, "Well, that's not to say his plans don't have a certain appeal. They could prove very lucrative." And then we're gonna find out who this is. Says, "Hey, you've heard of Hachinosu, the place they call the Isle of Exile, or even Pirate Island. Countries all around the world send the worst inmates there as a form of exile." So we get the origin story of Hachinosu right there. It was a prison island for pirates. They was exiled. So that Shiki, future gold lion, yup. Miss Buckingham, Miss Buckingham, the tech bandit, Buckingham Stussy. And then we got Don Marlin. That's the guy I did not know. Don Marlin, gangster from the West Blue. We do have Edward Newgate's future Whitebeard, Pirate Prophet Ochaku, future Commodore of Pirate Island, Wang Ji, future Commodore of Pirate Island. That means that's the person who had Hachinosu, because Pirate Island is Hachinosu when Law and them did the coup to take over. So that's Wang Ji. Pirate Prophet Ochaku is Wang Ji. And then we get a guy named Ganzu the smuggler. So Whitebeard says it was meant to be a barren island with no food where all you could do was wait for death. So this is the origin stories of Hachinosu, aka Pirate Island, when it was nothing more than a island for exiled pirates to go. No resources, no food, anybody there unless they was able to find their way off, in which it was no resources. So you feel me? That was gonna be pretty hard to do. Um, they was just left for death. It says, but last year the survivors started banding together. And why do you think that happened? Believe it or not, the island had a massive gold deposit. A shadow organization found out and got involved. They helped the criminals amass a fortune. They really pissed off the government. Damn. So the criminals was just on that island. It was every man for themselves. It's exile. You feel me? Every man for themselves. It's not enough for all of us. So you feel me? I'm taking you out and I'm taking what you got. But then they found a gold depository. And I guess the shit got real good. They teamed up, they band together. How I don't know, cause in my mind, finding a gold depository would have made it more of a dog eat dog's world. You feel me? But maybe they Maybe they just figure, hey, like with the government involved and knowing how the government get down, we can make this all ours so they can stay ours, but we gotta band together to protect this cause separately we ain't gonna stand a chance when they come. You feel me? Separately we will not stand a chance when they come. So moving on, they continue to tell Harold these days anyone who gets near the island gets swarmed by the hardened criminals, they'll strip you of everything. So then we cut a deal with the government. I asked, how much are you going to pay us if we take back that island for you guys? Once we get the money, we'll take down Pirate Island and split the mountain load of loot between us. But there's no way in hell we're just handing over the island and those criminals after that. Got it? Get it? I'll take charge of Hachinosu, and with these dumbasses under me, we'll turn it into Pirate Island. I can already see it. The government and Marines standing there like clueless dogs. This is just a prologue to my life. Using that island as me base, I'll crush the Navy, bring the Holy Land crashing down, and after that, I'm gonna be king of the world. A nice little plan you got. Harold then says, your enemies are too big. You're picking a fight with the whole planet. Rock says, say what you want. One day someone's bound to pull it off. He says, there's no such thing as a power that lasts forever. Join me, Harold. If we team up, we will be unstoppable. I like this man energy, bro. I like him, bro. Shout out to him being the first pirate in One Piece to talk using the word me. First part of me playing. You feel me on bro? And Loki is listening to all of this behind the door, as you see. Harold then says, "Quit inviting me. I told you I'm not." He said, "Quit inviting me. I told you I am the king." Rock says, "That doesn't matter. The world. I'm going to claim it. The world. The damn world. The whole damn world." Loki suddenly realized he's found salvation. We get some dialogue bubble. 4 years passed. Harold continued rejecting the numerous invitations he received until one day Rock's plan had finally reached its fruition, backed by his monstrous crew. He would send shockwaves through the world. Set sails, ye bastards. So Rocks finally did conquer Hachinosu even without goddamn it Harold. And we get the chapter's end right there. Okay. That was a great chapter. I'm gonna give that chapter a 10 out of 10. And have a lot of crazy fights in there, you feel me? But it just had me hyped, bro. It had me eager. I was really satisfied reading that chapter. Finding out more about Rox and Harold, actually getting to see Rock's personality, you feel me? And you feel me, like as far as what type of characters I could compare him to, you know. Um Finally getting a face reveal for Wang Ji, you feel me? Um we got the resolve for Loki. We got an ideal about Rock's power and how it works. What they mean when they say he's a special swordsman. We have not seen the swordsman of this caliber in One Piece at all yet. You feel me, bro? It's like Rock's every swing of Rock's sword kind of has that Totsuka. No, not Totsuka Paradise. It kind of has the fuck. What was Shanks and Gold D. Rogers move? Let me look it up real quick. It got that effect. divine departure. Okay, yeah, that's the move. It has that divine departure type effect where he runs the sword through first, and then it's like a delayed impact. But it's not just a delayed impact. Like it sends everything in the surrounding area launching forward as well. We got to see it, but I guarantee, I know for a fact that how it works, bro. I guarantee that as he cocks the sword, it most likely rises debris as his aura charges, and when he swings it, it launches everything with the impact of cannons and hammers, bro. I guarantee that's how it works. It's gonna be a while before we see it animated, but I'm saying it now. I guarantee that's how it works. Like, just close your eyes and visualize that. Like, literally, just close your eyes, visualize Rocks taking the sword out the sheath, cocking it back to get ready to swing. And as he doing that, the Conqueror's lightning aura just all flying everywhere. You feel me? And the rocks flying up in the air, and whatever is around flying up in the air. And then when he swings the sword, you feel me? It launches everything. Yeah, that's gonna be cold, bro. But shit, let's see. Break next week. Damn. So I guess in terms of One Piece, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Um, I'm really working on the theory video as far as how I feel like the whole One Piece is gonna be wrapped up, all the real deciding factors and things like that. We gonna get into all of that though. We gonna get into all that though. I'm gonna put a video up on that. But like I said, so far my biggest theory that everything gonna revolve around is Blackbeard's gonna be the final boss. Blackbeard's gonna kill Emu, take his powers or do whatever, and he's gonna be the final boss. Blackbeard, teach, watch. Just mark my word. And this is Who's Who 74, y'all. We signing out.